All right, all right, all right. All right, this is Frank Salinas along with the awesome John Garcia. John, how are you?
Hey Frank, how are you? How's everything today?
Man, if I was any better, I'd be you. This is like our good friend Paul Hoffman says, right? So,
That's right. So, hello everybody. Again, another episode of today of getting a store ready with Printful. With Printful. Oh my God, yeah, with Printful and GrooveKart. And so, guys, we're gonna just get started in a few seconds. Just a couple of things. Remember, if you want us to identify who is making the comments, don't forget to go to facebook.com/StreamYard. So we only see your name instead of Facebook user in the comments area. And I believe we also have with us Mr. David Lemon.
your subconscious showed up.
I guess he's not going to talk today. Are you going to be able to talk, David? No,
Hey guys, I'm just eating something, but yeah, I'm
Oh,
here in the background.
all right. David, of course, everyone knows David Lemon. I don't know how he does it. Every time I turn on my computer, David Lemon is live. So he has some sort of superpowers, guys. He has got the groove in him. Like, I don't know what. I aspire to be like David Lemon. So we want to say thank you, David. Just if no one's told you today, thank you for all the training, everything you do for the Groove community, the Groove family. We're so grateful for you, and we're excited to get this thing going, guys. We're going to cover a couple things, and I think we're going to bring home some good value for everyone that's been following along since the first session. And John, I believe, did you need to try to figure out how to get into Printful, or you got it?
Yeah, I actually going to step out for a second while
Perfect.
you welcome everybody else that is coming in right now, and then we're going to continue. So
Yeah.
I'll leave you to it.
Okay, great. So I'm going to just remove you. Okay, perfect. So with that being said, we've been covering mycatswag.com. That is the store we're setting up from the ground up, from ground zero, from the beginning. Okay. And so we're taking you through everything that you need to know for setting up your GrooveKart store. So with that being said, just want to take a quick moment to remind you, if you haven't yet already, right now is the best time to be upgraded to Groove to become an upgraded member, simply because pretty soon, I believe in February, we're going to monthly. So you can save literally thousands and thousands of dollars. So just want to put that out there. If you're able to, listen, do yourself a favor, get off on the other side of the fence and upgrade to the lifetime payment for Groove, simply because you're going to save thousands and thousands of dollars. And in the long run, of course, who doesn't like saving money, right? Because the more we save, the better it is for us and our bottom line. So that being said, last session we stopped at adding the product to the store. So I'm going to share the store right now. I'm going to go in just a second, share my screen. So let me just type it in, and we're going to go here in just a second. And I'm waiting for the screen to refresh, and we're about to share the screen in just a second so you can see what we've done up until this point with mycatswag.com. You can type it in right now if you want to. Go and visit mycatswag.com. That's going to be the store that we're setting up with these training sessions, and hopefully my internet does not give me a problem. Okay, let me refresh, and we're going to go into that right now. I just want to cover a little bit about what we did in the beginning as kind of a refresher. Maybe you haven't been here on the other training sessions, and then John Garcia will let me know once he's in there, and hopefully we don't have any issues. So let's see. I'm going to go. Okay, so let's go ahead and share my screen. So share screen, and then hopefully you can see that. Okay, so we can see that because now I see that over and over and over again. So here we are. Let's go, and hopefully it doesn't give me any issues. John, if you want, you can chime in as soon as you're ready. Let's see. try mycatswag.groovekart just to make sure. Okay, let's see. I know they did one update, and this is how things go. They just set up an update on GrooveKart to where the subdomain redirects to the main domain. That could be the reason why this is acting funny. Hopefully, that's not the point. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then we're going to go back to John Garcia. He's there, and let's see. Sorry about that. I got Skype going on. So we're just running into all sorts of stuff today. So no problem. Okay. I exited Skype, so you won't hear nothing anymore. Are you there, John?
I am here, Frank, and I just text you the access. All you got to do is, if you want to share your screen, is go to printful.com and use the password that I send you and use the Google account.
Okay.
And that's how you will connect.
Okay, great. So let me do that real quick, and you go ahead and talk, and we're going to go into Printful because there's a section that I wanted to cover. I covered this with John Garcia. I said, let me talk about the templates, okay, because this is cool. So we're going to go, and maybe I'll set up another product as quickly as I can so you can see what that is. So let me check Skype, guys. John, go ahead and
Perfect. All right, guys, we're going to be doing this right now. Let me just change the camera. Perfect. Awesome. So what we're going to be doing next, last week, Frank and I created a product. We talked about setting up the store, how to do the connection. Today, we're going to go a little bit more in depth with the actually structuring GrooveKart first. And then Frank is going to demo a couple of things that actually just interact with both GrooveKart and Printful. So I am going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you guys how to actually create categories. There is also a great demand for subcategories and how to create them. And in fact, with GrooveKart, you can do that. You can have several levels of different categories. So I'm going to share my screen in a moment. And once I be able to do that, give me just 1 second. Let me just check something here. We are just taking a look at the store here. And okay, can anybody tell me if you can see my screen? Guys, are we looking at my screen? David, Frank?
We're not seeing your screen right now.
No, you can't see it.
Let me just share. Oh, okay. Now, let's just try this again. Alrighty. I believe this. Okay, perfect. I forgot to add it to the stream. All right, so right now it's loading. So give me 1 second. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to start just by going into the store and try to create a category. So let me just add this here and make sure that we have a full screen so we can actually show you guys. So let me just see, why is it taking so long? And I think it's my internet today. For the past couple of weeks is not being functioning properly. So give me just 1 second, guys. Okay, let's see. Let me just open my apps again. And what we'll do is pretty much, well, and I think, yeah, just my internet is not happening today for some reason. It's been like that for the past couple of weeks. And I don't like that.
Hey guys, I think there's a loading issue with GrooveKart. I tried it on my end as well. It seems that it is just loading very, very slow. We are already checking with the devs. I'm here in the background checking that. So if you can go into Printful or set anything up in there, then we could just transfer back over to GrooveKart later on.
Perfect. Yeah, I was about to say, John, I was like, something's not right. So, and I know it has something to do with, we just updated to where the when you go to the subdomain.groovekart.com, it'll redirect to the main domain if you have a custom domain set up. So I guarantee you, it probably has something to do with that. But have no fear, the devs are an awesome team. They're working on it. So what we're going to do is, John, if you want to, go ahead and log in on your end through Printful, and we'll walk the members through what we're doing with Printful and the product template, since you already have the final t-shirt
Perfect.
design that we started with.
Perfect. Let's do that. Yeah, because let me just log in right now. Let me just go to printful.com and make sure that we are logged in. I'm just looking at the different screen, and I might have to share one other screen here. Oh,
Yeah, and while John's doing that, guys, this is the thing about technology, right? You have a plan, you have something you want to get done, and sometimes things happen, and you just got to realize, you got to adjust, you got to pivot, and then you got to go with the flow. At the same time, be proactive, not reactive, right? So, all right, I see John's in there. So, and then we'll
yep.
share our screen 100%. If you want to, we can just put the screen focused, and then you can there we go. All right. So, guys, check this out. This is something, take a look. This is how things work sometimes. I didn't know about this, how we could benefit from this till like, I don't know, 2 months ago. Watch. John, if you could go to product templates on the top left,
Top left in orders right here.
below that.
Oh, product templates. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So let me just go back there again. And all right, we have to give it a couple of seconds. As I said, for the past couple of weeks, my internet connection hasn't been the same. And I don't know if it's because of either the area or something is going on, but it's just not as it used to be. But all right, Frank, so we're ready here to the
Okay.
product templates.
Yeah, so let's hit that. Let's click that green plus button right there. Create your first product template. And so here, let's pick the same item we set up earlier for the product. Actually, no, let's do a new one. Go to men's clothing and let's pick a one of our favorite shirts, the Bella Canvas unisex shirt, and show the
No.
members on the left how they can find on the left. If you click t-shirts, and guys, when you're doing this, I like to sell unisex and then V-neck. And then if they have a style for women that's specifically to women's, then I do that. I typically on my stores, I do a unisex that goes for men and women with crew neck. Then I do a V-neck because ladies love V-necks. I don't typically like them. There's some guys that like them. John might like him. He likes to show off his apple, his Adam's apple and stuff like that. And then I do hoodies and other stuff. So scroll down, John, and then let the members see how they can choose specific parameters down there. You see how it shows inside label, outside label, whether you're doing embroidery, you got V-neck. So you can find things quicker here and then favorite it. So we're going to go with crew neck. Go ahead and select crew neck under models.
All right, models, crew neck. All right.
And then scroll up, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Bella Canvas. Yes, that's the one of my favorite shirts. It's soft, it feels good. If you've ordered things from GrooveGear.com, typically if it's a unisex shirt like that, it's not V-neck, it's typically going to be this one. People like it; they like the feel of it. It prints real good. So if you click on that and favorite it, put a little heart, guys, you can find it a lot easier. So we're going to give you a couple little tips inside of Printful. Actually, I don't see it here. Back out one more time. I spoke too soon. So click the little heart when you see it right above the image of that guy on the next.
On the actual, okay, yeah, let's just do it again. Let's just go to
Yeah.
product templates.
And this quick little tips to help you navigate inside of Printful faster. And I'm about to show you something that's going to save you a lot of time. So click it again, and let's go back, do t-shirts, and then unisex. And it might still be right there at the top, actually. It's actually there. Yeah, hit the little the heart right there.
Right here.
There we go. Now, watch, guys. In here, click on my favorites, and it's going to show up right there, up on the top. There we go. So it's there. So anything that, let's say you set up on your products, on your stores often, go ahead and put a heart on it so you don't have to sit here and spend 10, 20 seconds looking for it. You know what I mean? So let's click into it and let's set up a product template. So watch. So we should have a design already saved, I think. So hit drop your design, and we should have the cat thing, right?
That's correct. Actually,
where's it at? There it is. So yeah, pick it.
This one right here.
No, the left one. There we go.
right here, place.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to make a sample template out of this one. So now let's change the shirt. Go to product.
Go to product.
The tab right next to the red little line next to design right there. There you go. Okay, so this is dark, right? So let's choose a light one, and let's just do white and I don't know, a blue one and a pink one, just to keep it simple. My thing is I try to do no more than 3 variations of colors. So we click white, and then let's do take away those and just add white and like a reddish pink or something and a light blue since it's
Perfect.
a dark design.
So let's do white.
Perfect. And then do like a lilac, or there might be pink. I think that one on the left is pink.
No,
Just
lilac maybe.
Now do the pink at the bottom.
Right here.
That one. And then do like baby blue or something.
Like this blue right here. Heather blue.
Yeah.
I think it'll look okay. Yeah, perfect.
There we go. Okay, so let's just do that, and then I would move that up. That's too center. So drag that image. Yeah, move them up. And there you go. Something like that, right on the chest. Kind of like I always think of like a Superman S when I'm setting up mine. Where would the Superman S show up? Right. That's the way I do it. You don't want to go too high to where it's like right under your neck or anything like that, or too low where it's like sitting on, in my case, my belly, right? Too many tacos. So in this case, this would be perfect right here. And then move it over to the left a little bit, and I'm going to show the members. Again, this might be simple, preaching to the choir to a lot of people, but I just want people to see. Now click above where it says position. And then, guys, look, then center it real quick, and it snaps it right back to the center. Right? And then do left, do horizontal, just so people can see, the different things. Do you see
now, it took it to the right, it took it to the left. Now here's centered.
Center, perfect. You see what I mean? And again, this might look weird to you because, as you can see, the text is more to the right and the roof is to the left. So
right,
this will put it dead center. So you can put it back and then center it where you want it.
Right there. And I think because of the design, it's actually kind of
it looks weird, right? But just go ahead and hit center, and then that way people can see that it snaps it to the middle.
Oh, perfect! Yeah, right there.
So that's too low.
Yeah, exactly. And remember, guys, one thing to consider is like depending if your design is actually, let's say, a standing person or a tall building or a house, you want to kind of just simulate the size within the product. So you want to make sure that it's longer. I mean, you can actually edit that within the actual image, but it's always good that from the moment that you upload your picture, it has that proportionate. It is proportionate to the size.
Yeah.
So into the space that you're dealing right now, this one, since it's almost a square, it will be better off to kind of just put a little bit
there. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah.
And I think that'd be a good position.
Okay, so now, John, show them. Let me go click on right above where it says outside label.
Right here?
Yes. So here, guys, if you have, see, click it again. I don't know where. There you go. If you have a good logo, if you have a brand, you can put your label either on the outside or the inside. And this serves as good advertising for you when people are wearing your items. It'll show, you can put your logo here. And I like putting it on the outside so that if people are wearing it, they're like, oh, and it's kind of a reminder when they pull it out of their drawer or off the hanger, it'll have your logo here, right? And if you want to, John, real quick, open a tab and go to Fitness Food Fun. And I'm going to show the members an example of this label. And this is Michelle's store, fitnessfoodfun.com. And hopefully we don't run into fitness food. Hopefully we don't run into a loading issue. Hopefully. We'll see. And if not, go ahead and go back to Printful. We'll let that load. And then we'll check it in a second. It probably just taking an extra longer due to the devs working on it. So go back to Printful and we'll check it in a second so I can show them. So here would be your logo. This would be your branding right here. So when people are wearing your shirts, they're promoting you and your brand when they're wearing it because it's going to be on the outside. Now, could you also do the inside? Yes, you could. Now, I think most of the time Printful does not allow you to do both inside and out. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure they don't. However, I always go with outside labels so that you're having the promotion of your brand, your store done for you. Okay. Now, if we go to like groovegear.com, you look at some of our designs that have a design on the front and back. You'll see that it says Groove.CM, or it'll say customers matter, Groove, and things like that. So it looks like it didn't load. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I just
Naughty,
got
naughty.
permission. Yeah, so let's just try to reload it. Let's just leave it there. If not, we'll just
Yeah.
close it.
Uh-oh. So Max is gonna get a phone call right now. Now, okay. So don't worry, guys. They're getting it worked on. No problem. So with that being said, just wanted to touch base with this, the outside label portion, and then take a look at the other side, the left sleeve, the right sleeve. Maybe you put your logo on the right sleeve, the left sleeve. You could do that here, right? So let's play around with it, John. Do you have the My Cat Swag logo handy? We could just drop it on there. It's not going to look good, but just so the members can see
I
how we.
believe I do. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah.
You
All
guys
right,
are looking at my
John's
screen. Give me 1 second.
perfect.
Let
John's
me just
looking
look
for that.
for the folder, and we'll add it right now.
Yeah, and just a simple example to show you how it works. It's not going to look the greatest simply because we slapped it together in Canva real quick. So keep in mind when you do your logos, make sure you put some time into it. We did ours very quickly. Spending all you need is an extra 5 minutes, and you'll make it look way better than ours, right? But see, so in our case, we would have should have when we did it made it transparent
Hold
so
on, because
that
I think I have it transparent, Frank. I
okay,
think I
perfect.
just picked the wrong file. Give me one
Yeah.
second.
And so
So,
always when you make your logos, make them transparent so you can put them in different on different things, use them as assets, which is what they are. Not only can you put it on your store as a logo, but you can also put it for the outside label or for a sleeve, right? Maybe the outside label spells out your website name, and then maybe the left sleeve or the right sleeve actually is your logo, and you could split it up. You know what I mean? So so always with the logo, spend some extra time, make sure it's transparent. And then there's time and a place when you need JPEG, but that's usually only with all over designs. Like if you have an all over hoodie, all over shirt. And what I mean by that is it covers the entire all of the fabric. But typically most stuff we sell is just going to have a design like right here in the middle or in the back or on the side. But all over is it covers the whole thing, all of the fabric, and in that case, you need a JPEG. And Printful or whatever other print on demand company is always going to give you the specifications of what you need.
correct. As a matter of fact, right now I'm converting that file into a PNG. I thought I had it, but let me
Yeah,
just convert it really quickly. So, in the meantime, guys, also remember one thing: do not fall into the trap of if you don't have a logo, don't spend too much time
no,
just to put it in your branding. Just put another message in the outside, like Frank was probably gonna show us with Michelle's website. There's many things that you can do creatively without having to procrastinate too much on a single idea. So it's always good to have just maybe a couple of things planned for your logo in that event if you want to put it in the actual garment. But you don't have to, just dwell too much on that. If you don't have something, just probably a cool saying. Like we have Frank actually developed these very cool T-shirts lately, and it says just original Grooster, and that is I don't know if you have those files around, Frank. That would be cool to show.
yeah.
Uh,
Check Michelle's store again. I happen to check right now while you're talking. Hopefully, y'all didn't hear the clicks. Her store loaded up again. So
Perfect. So let me just check that out right now. Let me just
yeah,
make sure
and
that
if
we
it
have.
doesn't, I'll share my screen, guys. Not a big deal.
Perfect. Let's just do fit. What is it? Fit.
Fitness, food, fun. And guys, if you're into fitness, food, or fun, go order something from Michelle's store. So, so, and then if it doesn't, you try also. Let me share my screen. How about that?
Perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen. So let's go and just share my screen, and let's just go in here. Let's just save some time, right? So
Awesome.
let me know when you can see my screen.
Now I'm looking at your screen.
Okay, so this is my cat swag. It loaded while John was talking, and then look at that. No, same issue. Okay. So I spoke too soon. Not a big deal. Let's go to Groove Gear. Maybe it's cached on my store. Maybe. On my browser. Maybe. We'll see.
Actually, it just loaded on my end, it's something really weird. I think it should be something with with Cloudflare at the moment because
Might be
it is
Cloudflare
loading
again.
my end.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, it's spinning here. So guys, just bear with us. We'll let's just wait because I think this is an important part to show.
And you know what?
And
This proves actually, guys, that we're doing this live. So
yeah, yeah. So anyway, we'll check it again. If I get it to work, if me or John get it to work, we'll show you. And again, it might be Cloudflare that's messing up. It might not even be Groove. So and that happens. But the good thing is we got backups coming for other stuff related to GrooveKart, so this isn't going to be an issue like it's being right now. And it just so happens, typically, I've seen it happen to Mike Phil Sam when he's trying to do demo something, and all of a sudden Mike's like, "I can listen. This is it throws us off, but we got to keep going because we want you to get the value." So, not a big deal. We'll come to it in just a second. Let's go back into Printful, John Garcia, and let's just keep going with the product template setup.
yeah, I'm actually just going to I'm finishing up on the file right now, so I can
Perfect.
get that image in the appropriate file. And let me just are you guys looking at who's the screen? Actually, let me just add my screen. And let me just move this down a little bit, and let me just
Yeah.
bring this out and just so show you guys the process, because if you guys use, let's say, Photoshop or something like that, we just had the file. I just did not have it with the right
And I take full responsibility for that. I said, John, I need you. You want to jump on this training? And John's very prepared, and I'm more kind of like I'm fly by the seat of my pants type of thing. Sometimes. So that's it's my fault. Hey, how you doing, Alicia? Who else? Ryan. While John's getting this ready, Jason, Nigel. We appreciate you guys being here. So, if listen, don't go spending 16 hours learning Photoshop if you don't want to do that. Like
yes,
I don't know
that's
anything
important.
about Photoshop, but I can play with Canva. I'm pretty good at Canva. I'm like intermediate with Canva, and that's all I want to learn. You know why? Because I'm going to keep the design stuff. Let the professionals do it, right? And that's not me. I'm more marketer type, salesman type guy, e-commerce. I'm not a designer, so I'll keep that up to I'll leave that up to the pros like John.
All right, well, yeah, it takes more than 16 hours to learn Photoshop, by the way. Just FYI. So I already just finished that file, so I'm gonna just move this back here. Let me just go back to where is Printful? I think I just ended up closing the tab, maybe. And sorry if you see me looking at that side because, or this side, I don't know which side is reflecting my camera, but I have two screens. We're just moving a couple of furniture here in my house, so it's quite comfortable the way that I have arranged my office at the moment. But we are looking at, if I believe correctly, we're looking at
Yeah, we got you. There we go. All right.
perfect.
So let's
So
go back
now,
to product templates.
yeah, let me just save it because for some reason it closed, or maybe it didn't close, but I have it in a
You might
different.
have another window.
Yeah, I have it in a. I mean, it just happens to be in a different window. Well, welcome to live presentations, guys. This
Yeah, that's
thing
okay.
happened. So it's right here. This is where I'm supposed to actually drop the file. So I'm gonna just do it
Yeah.
now. And let me just get my Finder. Let me just go here into my downloads again, and it should be here. Where did I just save it? Okay, file, export. We're gonna export the file as a web, and we're gonna get it right here. Save. Let's just put cat logo, and we're gonna just name it. Put it into the downloads. I believe that's the one that I did. Let
And
me
here's a
just
tip, guys. What you can do also is, let's say your logo has 3 colors in it. What you can also do is do a white version and a black version, so that if you have all black or navy, black and navy, say hoodies and t-shirts, you can use the white version for the back or the inside label. And then let's say you have light t-shirts like the ones we chose here, then you can use the dark version that doesn't have a bunch of colors to put on the sleeve or the back, things like that. So you can have your full color logo, and then make a grade black and white version, or just all black lines and all white lines, so you can use them on dark clothing.
Correct.
Yeah. So what
Now,
do you think? Look at that.
let me just perfect. I
Yeah.
think that's pretty much it. And remember, what Frank was saying is completely right. If you don't want to have too many colors in your actual garments, you just want to make sure it's a black. If it's a white garment, and if it's a black garment, just make sure that you use a flat out white um, logo.
Yeah.
It can
So
be easily converted.
yeah, with that being said, now let's go ahead and continue. Let's just continue. This is a sample product. It's, this is just to show you how to use the template. So go hit continue and take a look at this stuff on the next
Perfect.
screen.
Now, let me just maximize here the screen so
Perfect.
they can see the buttons here. We're gonna click continue.
Yeah, guys, and this is, I think, I believe, a Cloudflare issue, or GrooveKart. So have no fear, the devs are already working on it. So here you can name this. So in this case, what was the name of the design? It was "Home is where the cat is," right?
Yes.
So I would just say "Home is where the," I forgot the name of the thing. Let's see.
I just call it template home. Since we're using this as a
Yeah.
template, it's always good to not actually name the files
Yeah.
in the way that you want to pretty much use them in the future. If it's a template for a very specific product, you can start with the word template, or maybe with the acronym TMP or TPL, or whatever you want, just to abbreviate, just to let you know that it's a template.
Gotcha. And then here, hit add sizes, guys. You just go down there, hit add sizes up at the little blue. Sorry.
Where right
Little
here.
bit down. There you go. You have to select them. Yeah. Select all of them.
Right.
I typically don't offer extra small. I learned this from Dan Kennedy. A confused mind doesn't buy, and I don't include extra small because I've never in my history of, I don't know, 8,000 e-commerce orders seen anyone order extra small. That's just me. So it's up to you, right?
Exactly.
So, and the reason being is because it's just way more other stuff. So, and then it's sizes. The average size, I believe, is large, and for men, and then for women, I believe it's medium.
It's medium,
So
yeah.
it's up to you what sizes you offer. This is an example of you as a store owner deciding what sizes you want to offer, because maybe you want to offer less. Now, the other option is offer everything as far as the size. So it's totally up to you. This is just your personal choice for your business.
And one thing, guys, by the way, something along the lines that what Frank was saying is, give me a second. He doesn't like excess. Remember your target market.
Yes.
I think that's key. A lot of people say, yeah, I'm gonna put every single size. But remember, if you are dealing with, let's say, people that are very fit, that are into CrossFit, into exercise, into mountain biking, into climbing, you can tell by the amount of exercise these people do that they're between M and L. Now, the 2XL and 3XL, even the 4XL, is still something good to offer. However, you will increase your chances if you have less distractions. What I'm saying is exactly what Frank said. Once you have 20 different sizes, people might get confused and they're going to start doubting themselves. Like, oh, am I an M or am I an L? Am I an XL? You know what? I don't know. Let me just check back later. So it's
Yeah.
easier if we just have very few choices so you can close the deal right away. One piece of advice also is have in mind, and I'm gonna talk about this later with the GrooveKart. Have a little sizing table. I think that will help a lot when
Yes.
it comes to making sure that people make the right decision. When it comes to, okay, how big is the actual XL, or how big is the L, or how small is the extra small? Why? Once you have, let's say, is 26 inches wide by 16 inches tall, once you give that reference, you actually are allowing your customer to experience more information for the product, and they can visualize that, okay, yeah, this 16, they're going to get a ruler. I'm like, okay, yeah, I think this might fit me. So that will help you along to get to that process. So now, Frank, we're going to say to assume we're going to just
Yes.
name
Save
it here.
product. Yeah. Hit the red button.
So I'm going to put it name template home
Is where, or what? Yeah. I forgot
the
the name
cat
of what it said.
is.
Yeah.
and we're gonna just click Save Product Template.
Yeah. And so the next part is the exciting part that I like. So watch. So if you hover over that, John, see how it says add to store? Let's go over that after. Click view first. So take a look at this, guys. Click on download mockups. This is the part that just is gonna, make you excited. So look, take a look at all these mockups, and John, just pick a bunch of random ones and watch what down there. So just pick different ones, select them.
Let's pick one for girls and one for men. And by the way, guys, since Frank is, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and Frank has mentioned his, whenever you're selling a product, especially if it's a garment, if it's something that people wear, try to avoid this,
Yes.
cutting their faces off.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, and I've learned that this through experience, that people, if they want to see a garment, that's perfect. But if you don't want to kind of just make sure that the attention goes for a person, don't just cut their faces. Just make sure that it goes with a single product. I think that's better. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
just probably select one with the full. Let's just unclick this
Mhm.
guy. We're gonna get this gentleman over
Yeah.
here. Maybe even
And
I
I
think.
like to do, either full body, full people smiling and all this other stuff, or just the shirts,
Exactly.
or a mixture. I like the mix, so I like the shirt by itself, and then the people, like a couple, or boy and girls, things like that, so that people can visualize. They can see themselves wearing it versus, sometimes if you just got the shirt by itself, no people, that's okay too. Don't get me wrong. I've sold a ton of shirts, no mock-ups of people. But if you have the ability to do it, I would say include it.
Yes. And now what we're going to do, we have selected what mockups we want to see. So we selected this gentleman here at the top, this lady over here. And you know what? Let's select another lady. Let's
Yeah.
say this one. So we can probably have 6 mockups of two of each. So 2 like this. Then we have selected 2 of these. And let's just probably get one like this and one like this. So I think we selected 6. So we're going to just now download the mockups or
Yeah.
generate mockups.
Click download, and you're gonna click it twice. So I
I
think we're in
know.
the way with our
Yep, let me just make sure that we are not in the way.
there you go.
Right.
So once it's processed, then you click it one more time, and it's gonna spit them out.
Yep, download
It's gonna
mockups.
it's gonna zip it up and then give you the zip to download. And then if you want to, John, if you have the ability to unzip it and then show people all
Yeah, right there. So let me just see archive. So it's right here. And let me just make sure that we show it here in Finder. So let's just unzip it.
and then maximize it so people can see all the mock-ups that we got in this one.
Yep,
So look at that.
this is it.
I mean, is that nice or what?
So once you have a template and you want to create very distinct products, guys, this is the way to go. I think this would actually just enhance way better the product presentation, number one, because as you can see, the photography was very well thought of by Printful by allowing the position of the model by putting the main logo, I'm sorry, the main design rather, and then the logo. So you can showcase both.
Yeah, this is not. And then one thing, sorry to cut you off, John. The detail. Did you see that? It's been proven. Etsy's done. They've released studies they've done, and they've watched what sells. And the Etsy listings. If you don't know about Etsy, it's a marketplace where you can go buy custom, vintage products that are handcrafted, handmade, etc. And people that sell more items on Etsy have close-ups. They have more detailed photos, and this is an example of just having the shirt folded. That's a detailed photo that shows more of the detail. Why? Because they're on their computer. They can't feel it. So as many details as you can give them of the items, that's going to help your conversion.
And not only that, but it gives a good idea to the customer that is very picky and very and wants to see every single detail. So by showing 2, 3 different mockups, you tell them like, hey, this is the way that it's going to look within. And I mean, I love this picture because it showcases everything.
Yep.
The lady's looking at you like, hey, look at me, this is a cool t-shirt. And he looks kind of serious. Now she's now kind of just smiling, kind of just having a
Yeah.
little pose. This to me is perfect.
I love smiling models. To me,
Exactly.
guys and girls, if they're smiling, to me, I'd rather do that. And if even if it's not a full smile, a little something instead of looking mad, to me, is
Yes.
better.
That's also important, guys, to remember, because I think this is the perfect pose for a
Yes.
t-shirt product, because she's smiling, she's engaged, she looks like she's comfortable with that t-shirt. So that's the most important part. And remember, always try to select your mockups depending on your audience. Have
Hmm.
that in mind all the way through. Once you have your audience, try to just pick a model that is kind of similar to your interest, to the interest of the person. For example, here in this mockup, for example, here this guy is actually working out, he's at a gym. So if he happens to, if you happen to be in the market, or you work with the fitness industry, this will be a perfect model for you right here.
Hmm.
So there's many. Also, we just picked a few, but it's the same picture with the different products. And of course the colors, so the colors will be very important as well. Make
Yeah.
sure that the colors that you selected are kind of just according to the niche, the industry that you're with, because remember, there's also products for babies here. There are also products for, there are many different products that you can select from and do this exercise with them. Okay.
Yeah. And then I'd like to add, like what John mentioned earlier, think about what your design is, what it says, because let me give you an example. Like on groovegear.com, there's a shirt that we have that says, what does it say? The Groove Father.
Yeah, the Groove Father, yes.
So it would not make sense for me to put mock-ups with a girl wearing the shirt because it's Groove Father. So it just, you don't want to have disconnect. You want congruency when it comes to business and marketing, right? So, and again, hopefully, the Groove Cart gods work with us, and if not, I got one. Oh, if it doesn't load, I can share my screen, John, because it's loading for me.
Yeah, it's as I said, my internet is being quite wonky, and
Yeah,
plus whatever is happening.
let me share my screen real quick. It's I just
Hey
tested.
guys, just to jump in here, I sent you a couple of links here in the private chat and also on Skype. So there's an issue with Cloudflare, the dev said, but if you open up the subdomain, if you put .debug before the .groovekart.com, then it should open it up very shortly. Try the My Cats, the store that you guys created. That should load in.
Oh, so it is indeed with Cloudflare, and yep,
There
mine
we
is
go.
loading.
All right. See, David Lemon comes to the rescue again. Thank you, David. So John, go to shop by theme. This is Michelle's store. Of course, guys, we've got Cloudflare giving us an issue, but click on that drop down and pick the theme good vibes, good loving.
Good vibes, good loving. All
And this is the
right.
perfect example of the back labels. Pick the second product that once it loads. Yeah. Actually, no. Pick any one of those. I think she did a good job at putting it on everything. So let's see. Oh, perfect. Yeah. Go to the next one down there, the mock-up. Perfect. Look at that. So this is an example of having your brand on the back of the item. Okay. So if you want to click on that, John, see if you can zoom in. See if it lets you. So you see that she has her brand, Fitness Food Fun, on the outside, and it's just a perfect example of what we were speaking on earlier. So that when people are wearing her stuff, next thing you know, oh my God, where'd you get that? And I mean, some people are just going to look at it and go search for it or Google it or whatnot. You know?
And I think the positioning for, and remember, guys, this is important also because, for example, for a full size T-shirt, you do not want to put your branding right in the middle. You want to just
No.
put it probably close to the neck. In this case, it works perfectly because
Yes.
I believe the design gives the ability to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
it has to be a little bit of a graphic design and also product design to a point to make sure that the logo is well proportionate and also properly centered. So it's a visual. It takes that visual impact when you're exercising, because all of us have been to the gym, and most of, I don't know if the big brands that use it, the Nike uses the bag, the logo in the back, also Reebok, also Under Armour especially, and they all have the very same similar theme. So it always happens in a very good area. So it's a visual point for the garment.
Yeah,
So this is a great
John.
example, Frank.
Yeah, let me. I'm going to share my screen to give you a little break because I know you've been doing all the screen sharing. So you can go ahead. I'm going to share my screen in just a second,
Awesome.
and then let me just dive a little bit into what we're talking about again with this. Let me know if you can see Michelle's store.
Yes, someone added now to the stream. And in the meantime, Frank, hold on. Let's just take a question here. We're
Sure.
now 4:45. How can I remove a shipping method I added? I added one going through the wizard, and now I can find it anywhere on the shipping tab in my GK admin dashboard. So I can't remove it until now. So we can probably address that either a little bit later or while you actually go into the store. If you want, I can log in since we have the ability now to log in and go forward, and we'll actually answer Ismail in just a few seconds.
Yeah, we'll do that. And see because maybe again this might help us discover something that maybe a developer didn't flip a switch back on, and now it's causing this issue for Ismail and maybe some other people. So, so let me share my screen real quick. Any other question you want to cover?
Not right now. There's one. Let me just say here. Is there a way to use a third-party mockups with GrooveKart and Printful? Yes, we just told you. We just downloaded the mockups. We can actually use that, and then you can replace those within in your GrooveKart for your products.
Yeah, and there's a website. I think it's called Place It. I don't know how much it costs, but just Google Place It, and they have a lot of mockups, and they have some free ones you can use. And then there's another one. I'll post it in the group later when I find it, and it costs something, but they give you all sorts of mock-ups. I mean, just different scenarios, people with pets and people skateboarding and all this. So I think would be a good investment for you if you want to get serious with e-commerce. Is investing in this membership. I think the most expensive one was like $90 a year, and you can have literally thousands of mock-ups, people, products by themselves, mugs, people with hoodies, groups of people. And I'll find the name of that one. I'll put it in the group after this replay. In the meantime, let me share my screen real quick, and
All right.
then we're going to show people another example of what we were speaking on earlier about putting your branding on everything you do. Okay, so let me know if you can see Michelle's store.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So this is another one of Michelle's items. Good vibes, good loving. And as you can see here, I mean, come on. That looks freaking good. What do you think, John?
I love it.
I mean, this is a perfect example. You might as well have, I think it's like a $2 and some change that they charge you for this on the back. And I would definitely do this when you set up your items because it's just good for your store. Because let's just say you're in a niche or you have an audience and you take off and you start making 30, 40, 50 sales a day. Think about how many people are going to be wearing your stuff out there. This is just free advertising for you. And it gets the word out, and people will ask, "Oh my God, where's Fitness Food Fun? Is that the website?" Blah blah blah, and then they start typing it in, and next thing you know, you're getting free sales from people typing it in on Bing or Yahoo, Google, etc. So that's just that one thing I wanted to touch on, and then now let's dive in. I'm gonna stop sharing. Let's dive into the categories, John. I think we have plenty of time just to show them. Actually, while you do that, you log in. I'm gonna share Printful real quick. I'm going to log into Groove Gear, the Printful for Groove Gear, simply because
Perfect.
just to show them an example of how to think about, and I'm talking right now while I log in, how to think about the categories. And we're going to keep it super simple. Let me share. Let me just share real quick. I'm going to share my screen one more time, and then I'm going to pass the baton back to you. So, okay, so here we are. So I'm in Printful. I'm in the Groove Gear Printful account, right? Can you see that, John?
Yep.
Okay. So think about when you do categories. When I first started e-commerce, guys, I had no categories. I had one store and I was selling a watch. And it was ugly. And I sold 110 watches over the weekend when I launched my first Shopify store. Okay. Now, we might, that was after I transitioned from Teespring, then I started selling e-commerce through WordPress on my own website through a WordPress theme and plugin, and then I transitioned to Shopify. This was 2000 late 2015, I believe. And so when I did that, I didn't know anything about the good way to do categories because I came from the internet marketing world, right, and making websites, but that were not e-commerce. So let me show you a simple way to do categories and how to think about them. All you got to do is log into Printful and go to the product catalog, and this is the and you tell me if I'm wrong, John Garcia. What do you think? If you're setting up my cat swag and we're selling exactly that cat swag, to me, I would do these categories: men's, and then you decide as an owner what you're going to offer. Right? I might not necessarily offer everything here because that's a lot of products, but I might do men's cat stuff, women's cat stuff, and then kids and youth, maybe not, because most, let's just, like you said, go back to what you were saying earlier, know your market, right? What is the majority going to be of the people that buy your stuff for my cat swag are going to be what? Women.
Women.
And chances
Certainly
are
women.
they're going to be over a certain age, over 40. I'm betting. We can look that up right now if we have time. So I don't necessarily need to, for this example, set up kids and youth stuff. Now you could, we could, but for this training series, we could just leave it out. Now, could we think of cool kid cat shirts? Maybe. Yes, we could. Hats. I think we can do hats. Accessories. I think we can do. Maybe we'll do a I don't know, some socks. That might work. Home and living. Let's see. So your main category could be men's, women's, hats,
Hats.
and then maybe and we'll decide that right now, right? And then the good thing is when you set up these categories, you don't necessarily have to abide by them once you set them up. You can set up product categories and never use them, and they'll be there for when you are ready. And maybe in this case, all we're doing is t-shirts, hoodies, and maybe one other item like a mug, and start that way, right? And then later we add in other stuff, but you can set them up as you go. So like I might not do a poster, but I might do a pillowcase because maybe it says "cat hair don't care" or something, right? And they
Right.
might think that's funny. Another one, home and living. I think we do want to do that because I think we can come up with a. I just actually had an example idea pop in my head. We can do a throw blanket, and let's do this, Garcia. Let's make when we start launching ads. I'm committing to you guys watching. We're gonna do one of our ads selling the throw blanket. Why? Because I remember Simone, who's part of the team. She got her GrooveZilla blanket, and she loved the softness of it. She loved the way it felt.
And not only that, but also remember, guys, that when you're thinking about categories, you're thinking about products,
Mm-hmm.
and make it multifunctional. It's got to be a multi-channel approach. That if you're going to have a product, let's say for, as you mentioned in one of the categories that you have thought, uh, women's cat stuff, men's cat stuff, or cat hoodies, or cat whatever the product might be, just make sure that they all have a very unique distinction.
Mm-hmm.
Like the product are very unique. Why? The categories and the name of the product is one thing, but the name of the product is what is going to give you the advantage. It could be a t-shirt, but it's just the message of the t-shirt that you're creating. And I'm mentioning this because remember, also we have to count on SEO. We have to count on search engine optimization. The categories are actually very important for that because you
Mm-hmm.
have to have that tree where all the images, where all the description, where all the products are. So you want to make sure that is at some point it's a logical kind of just plan. So you have
Yeah.
women's cat stuff slash hoodies or slash hats or slash whatever, and then the product name. So have that in consideration when you're thinking about your categories, and make sure they make sense for not only the products but also for your audience.
Yes. So with that being said, so let's give you a verbal example, and then John's going to show us. Right. So in GrooveKart, the the number one at the tippy top is home. Right. That's in there by default. So if I'm doing it, I'm going to set up men's. Now, what John mentioned, SEO, we're going to either do men's clothing as a category, or we're going to say men's. That's going to be up to John when he does this. And right now I have women's showing right now. So I'm either going to do women's clothing as a category or women's. And then underneath that is going to be t-shirts. And then parallel is going to be hoodies. And then maybe we decide to do sweatshirts. We might do that. You see what I'm saying? So underneath home is women's, whether that's women's clothing or just women's. And then underneath that, the child of that is going to be shirts, hoodies, and then whatever else John decides to set up. And then the t-shirts and hoodies are all siblings. Does that make sense, John?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
All right.
that actually makes complete sense, because that's the tree that I was talking about. Make sure that everything is cohesive and makes sense when you're creating your categories.
And then one more, and I'll pass you the baton. So home and living makes perfect sense to make as a category, and then one of the childs will be blankets, and then we can go from there. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing, and then it is yours, buddy.
Perfect. Right now, so let me add my screen here, and I'm going to just make sure that you guys get the full experience here.
Yeah.
So,
are you guys liking this? Maybe if you know, maybe if you can type a 1 in the chat box or something, if you're getting this, if it's making sense, if it's helping you any. I know some of you are pros at this, but we want to always come from a standpoint of we are helping everyone from the ground up. And so we just want to make sure we don't leave anything out.
And Frank, give me just 1 second.
Sure.
I want to start 1 second, but I think somebody made a very good comment. Sure. And I was just reading about it, and I think it's worth showcasing. It says,
yes.
Rick says,
okay. So,
you would need to get the sizing table from the supplier. So I'm actually doing that right now in Printful. So we do have that information.
Yes, and let me touch base on this real quick, which is why, guys, okay, you know, recently, and I'm going to cover 2 things. One thing, somebody started some rumor that I bought GrooveKart. That couldn't be further from the truth. I'm just a product owner. So in the company Groove.CM, we have product owners. Why do we have product owners? Very simple. So that the founders don't get bugged and beat up by, you know, the developers and everyone else on the team for stuff that they don't need to be fooling with. Mike Filsame, John Cornetta, Matt Serrata, the 3 amigos, they don't need to be working on day-to-day stuff that product owners can be working on. We are here to take ownership of certain products, like David Lemon is the product owner of Groove Pages, GrooveFunnels, and pretty much almost everything else, right? So, and David can touch on this in a little bit. He can shed more light on this than me. But product owners are just like me. I'm the product owner of GrooveKart. It's my job. This is my baby, to learn GrooveKart front, back, side to side, upside down. My job is to eat, sleep, and dream of GrooveKart all the time so that I can be your advocate, so that, guess what? You guys watching are in the founding, we're in the founding creation of something huge, okay? And my job is to make GrooveKart faster, easier to use, simpler, more options for you, at the same time keeping it so that you can get up and running quickly, okay? And this has given me more like inspiration than anything. One day you're going to look at GrooveKart, let's just say a few years from now, and we're going to be changing the lives of many people, and you're going to be one of those people to where you're going to be helping your own tribe of people learn to make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month, giving people joy, because e-commerce either solves a pain point, solves a problem, or brings joy to people when they put on that shirt like, oh, number 1 grandma, right? Or
yes,
number 1 cat mom, you know, and it just, they see that and they're like, oh my God, I got to have that. We're bringing joy to people when we do e-commerce, or we're solving a solution. We're solving a problem with our solution. So like you and David did the gyrotop. That makes sense for in today's world, because you're solving a pain point. You're solving a problem. So you are in the greatest time right now. You're in with Groove in the beginning. You're part of the Groove family, and you're going to be able to not only change things for you and your family, but if you really get serious with this, if you work with me and John and David and the whole Groove family, we can make a huge impact on the world, and that starts with something as simple as size charts. And let me
Yep.
share with you something about this. Printful, GrooveKart, that we're a startup to them, right? We're not Shopify. We're not Shopify. So they've kind of like, you know what? We can only give you what we have. There's our public API, and that's all we can do. We can't work with you to help you customize. And that's basically what they've done. So guess what? That's why it's my job to find other suppliers, other vendors that say, hey, no, we'll help you. We'll work with you. We'll get with your devs. We'll have our team get with your team, and let's make something work. Are we going to remove Printful? No. But it's very limited in what we can do. We can't carry over the size chart. You have to go either take a screenshot or create a new table in GrooveKart so you can make it manually. And that's what we're dealing with right now. Why? Because we're the new kid on the block. Even though we've been around for 2 years or so, we're not Shopify, right? So, and don't get me wrong, Shopify is a great company. Super simple, super easy, super fast. But guess what? Let's not kid ourselves. My long-term goal is to make Shopify know who we are and start getting worried about us in the near future. Why? Because that's going to benefit you, because competition helps the market. And we're all part of the market because we're all trying to make more money to help our family and change the direction of our legacy. So with that being said, that's why we don't have an easy way to push over the size charts right now through Printful, because they don't want to work with us. They're just like, here's the API, do what you can with what we give you, and that's it.
And by the way, Frank, along those lines, the only way that Printful will start paying more attention is if we all start making more stores with their products. It all comes down to that. Once we start getting more people using GrooveKart as their platform, guess what? Printful is going to pay more attention, and they're going to say, what do you guys need? What do you guys need for your users to make sure that we have more of the stuff that is coming for the future readily accessible to you guys?
Yeah.
So now let me share my screen, Frank, and let's just jump into the category creation. Right now it's 5:02, so we're gonna just probably extend another couple of minutes here, but we cannot let everybody go without having to create the categories. Right now, what we're looking at, guys, is the actual dashboard. This is our GrooveKart dashboard, and the only reason why I'm showing this thing here is because whenever you log in, you will see this. You will see the steps that you have either completed or to be completed within your dashboard. So if you're missing something, you can actually take a look at it. You can go in there, or simply you can just click anywhere else, or click right here in this X. A lot of people have asked me, how do I just get out of here? So you just click this X and it will take you outside of that. And then you can go back to any area within the actual platform. So let's just take a look at the categories. So this is a new category. This is a new store. So we're gonna just take a look at the categories, and I believe so far we have 1 or 2 categories. And this is the cool part, because here is where you guys will learn how to not only create the categories, but how to identify them and how to manage them. So we're gonna just have a crash course in how to create categories, how to manage the products within those categories, and you will see how easy it is. So far we have women's hoodies and best deals. But also, if I remember correctly, let's just take a look at the store here. Let me just copy this link and make sure that they're actually showing. So let me just copy this.
Yeah,
Let me just
and
bring it here.
this is good stuff, guys, because listen, I started making money with e-commerce before I even understood the what's it called, taxonomy. I don't know what it's called, but and listen, this just goes to show you, I'm real when it comes to business and things like that. There's stuff I don't know, and guess what? I didn't let that ever stop me from making a profit.
Yes.
And so that's just always remember that.
Remember, there's nothing that has stopped you to create your store but you. The moment you start out hitting you in the face and no, I cannot do this, I don't know how to, the resources, you have the support department, you have the YouTube channel, you have your group in Facebook. There are many ways that you can start to create this. There is these sessions, the ones that I created with Mr. David Lemon. We created a few stores. So there's materials there for you guys to see and kind of just rewind on those videos, and you can create your store very simply. And as I said, and as Frank mentioned, there's always a learning curve. But here we go. So, Frank, I'm going to just follow the same example, and I'm going to create a new category. So to create a new category, guys, we click in that button that says new category. And of course, is going to load with all the questions right here. So we're going to take a look. And I remember that you mentioned that you want to name one of the categories men's stuff. Was it
men's? Let's do men's. Now this is where you decide as a store owner. Do you want it to say men's or men's clothing? And then whichever way we go, then we make sure that we mimic that for women's, etc.
Perfect. So let's just call it men's clothing.
Yeah, let's do men's clothing, and that's going to be the parent of
Correct. Or the rest,
t-shirt, hoodie, etc. Right?
Correct.
And then, oh, you missed a G.
Oh wow! You see, I'm seeing too many G's now.
So John Garcia is typing like I talk. I sound like a redneck Mexican sometimes. So I say men's clothing.
Hey, we all sound funny sometimes, right? So right here, so we have men's clothing. This will be the category name. The parent category, if this is a main category, don't change it yet. I'll show you how you want to just manipulate the rest of the categories. Here's if you want a description. So we're going to just put men's clothing as well.
Yeah, and this stuff you can always come back and add copy, put some good words and descriptive stuff in here. We're just showing you how to set up bare bones to get started. And you got the S on men's and the apostrophe in the description. Yeah. We're here to get each other's back, guys. John's helping me and I'm helping him, and we're just trying to make this so that you guys comprehend.
Now, remember, guys, every single area in this platform has some placeholder for an image, and the categories is no exception. So with the categories, we have the little area that you can actually add an image for. At the moment, we don't have one, but I will create a couple of images. So whenever we're dealing with categories again, we will add those images. But you can add, as the owner of the store, you can actually come up with very single, probably icons or something like that you want to identify it, each category, so you can have a very a more visually I guess attractive
and
part of the categories.
This is the perfect example of why you should go ahead and invest in, if you have it, if you can spare it, if no one's going to get mad at you, in a mock-up membership, so you can make all these cool mock-ups so that you can make your store even more beautiful.
Actually, we do have some. Let's use one of those mock-ups.
Yeah, so, the guy. Yeah.
Let me just here to the downloads. Great idea, Frank. Actually,
yeah. I mean, that's what I'm here for, brother. Great idea. No, I'm joking. So and guys, me and John, we have David. We like having fun here, and hopefully this is making sense. Yeah, this guy's handsome and good.
How much of a man?
I mean, can't get more manly than that dude, right?
Yes, yeah, just like hey. So let me just. This is the 0EF. Perfect. So let's just see if that will.
I mean, if you wanted to get more manly, then I'd put a picture of me, but I don't have that shirt on, so
Well, if we wanted to get more manly than that, we'll put a picture of you holding a picture of this gentleman right here.
Yeah.
So then on the meta title, we're going to get men's clothing. Men's clothing. And the oh my God, I cannot type for nothing today.
That's okay. We need some Wheaties today.
So, and meta description, guys, depending on what you sell, what you do, you can just fill this out. So you can probably name or type.
How about this? Let me say, how about this? Shop all of our exclusive custom cat swag, men's clothing, and enjoy being a part of the club. Let's just keep it very generic.
Wow.
Whatever. And that's it. And you can come back to this, guys. Listen, again, and don't get me wrong, do things the right way, but don't let this stop you from launching your store. If you already have all your products, you have the payment set up, you have your terms, you have your address. If you have everything officially proper, these little things, yes, SEO is important, but you can actually Well, 95% of the sales I've made through e-commerce have been through direct sales straight from advertising campaigns, not from SEO.
Correct.
If you're good at SEO, don't get me wrong, go for it and then go back and do that. But don't
Yeah,
let that stop you.
there for traffic is always have a good situation with SEO, have everything covered. But what Frank said was completely right. Most of the sales will be generated from an advertising campaign for Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you might probably want to
Yeah.
do. But there's an important tip here, guys. Make sure that the friendly URL always have whatever words you have separated by a dash, and be careful when you do this, because if you leave a double space, it will generate a double dash, and you don't want that for the search engine. So please, I think I mentioned it before,
Yes.
don't forget to remove any hidden spaces, anything like that. So just check once you are creating the friendly URL. So once we have that, guys, we have pretty much the four things that we need. We need the description, we need an image, we need the SEO settings, and the main category name. So we're going to click save. And what will happen now, the system will create the category. And let's make sure that we can do that here. Let me just click save.
Yeah, it's saving.
And once it saves, you will see it in the category list. And then what we're going to do really quickly is I'm going to create a second category, but this time it will be, oh, I actually did it three
Oh,
times.
because you clicked too much. That's okay. We'll delete
Yep.
those.
No, but you know what? It kind of just works out because I'm going to do something here.
Perfect.
If this happens to you guys, because it has happened a couple of times, just make sure that you click the actual box where the categories that you want to delete, and then go to actions. These are global actions. So you can select, you can unselect, or you can disable certain categories. In this case, I am going to do what? I am going to delete the selected categories. So once I click delete, it's going to ask me, delete the categories? Yes. And why it's good to do it while it happens? Because you don't want to actually have to deal with uh, having a situation where you have double categories, you have double entries, double products, so you do not want to have that. So right now here we have women's hoodies and then men's clothing. So now let's just create a new category that is called hats or men's hats. Very quickly, we're gonna just do it now. We're not gonna add a picture this time, but we're gonna just add the category. So we're
Let's
gonna
do
click
hat, John. Let's do hats
hats.
because that's going to be its own parent, I guess, underneath home.
Uh, would it, or would it be also part
Yeah,
of the men?
I'm sorry. I'm just using Printful as the example based on how they have their setup.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna
Yeah.
do hats. So let's okay. So what in that case, for the sake of the example, for the continuity, so let's just add men's hoodies.
Yeah, do hoodies and leave out the word man. This is how I would do it. And again, this is
Right.
me and John. We each have our own way. Neither way is let's say set in stone. It's up to you, right? And think about how the flow of everything goes. And like John said, SEO is important, and you should put time of it. And when you set it up from the beginning the right way, it's already going to work together properly because you're doing it the right way.
Right. And so now we have the hoodies category ready to go. We have it that make sure it's displayed. Now, here's the important part, guys. Whenever you're setting the subcategories, remember to have in mind what is the parent category. The parent category meaning the one that supersedes all the rest of the smaller categories. In this case, for the hoodies, we're going to make sure that once we start typing the category, which is men's clothing, it actually reflects right there. So as you can see, all that I did is just I type men and men's clothing appears. Now this is the main subcategory. I'm sorry, the master category, if you may. So then you can just leave this empty. Meta title, you can just put this is hoodies. So let's just put hoodies here. Then men's hoodies. And hoodies. This is perfect. This is a single word. You don't have to worry about dashes or anything like that. So we can leave it like that. And then we're gonna click save. Once we save this category, you'll see what happens. And I want you guys to place really close attention, because unfortunately a lot of people kind of miss that. And I don't know if it's probably the system or it's creating two things here in the categories. So now let me just do this
Yeah,
again.
back out.
Yeah, let me just go back out
'Cause
here.
maybe it's there, and like you said, it's the system acting up. Go back, drill back in from the home
Let me just click through
just to
the
make sure.
categories.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, guys, remember, if you messed up the category creation, there's always ways to actually come
Yeah.
back.
So this
But
is a perfect example. Like this, while we're doing this training, lets me know, hey, I need to show our lead developers it shouldn't do this, because I would have did exactly what John was about to do, and delete the work when it's there, right? So this is good though, because I like spotting things like that.
now, I remember that in the past, all the categories were actually shown here. But now, and this is the part that I wanted to show you, whenever you create a subcategory in a master category, in this case, men's clothing, you're going to see a smaller folders, a small icon here. Let me see if I can actually uh, zoom a little
Yeah, I
bit.
like that. Oh, there we
Right
go.
here. So right here, there is the little icon. In order to see your subcategories, all that you got to do is click right there. I'm sorry, click on view subcategories.
Yeah.
So you go to actions, view subcategories, and what it will allow you to do is not only go under the subcategories of that main category, but add more, add new categories. So let me just fix this. Let me just delete this one.
Yeah, and I don't know what happened. I think it's just that extra click due to your connection and all that, and it just created twice.
Yeah,
So
it's probably created it twice because
yeah,
I click one, my mouse is very sensitive, and number two, it is definitely just generating something else
yeah,
here. But now I have now single hoodies here,
perfect.
but we're gonna create another category. Let's just do it really quickly. So
Mhm.
let's just do what other product, and let's ask the audience, what other products men's usually use besides tees and hoodies?
And guys, keep in mind reference Printful if you want to, cheat a little bit under men's clothing.
So let's take a look. Let's go to Printful, but let's see if we get any recommendations from the
Yeah,
audience. So we're gonna
and
give
that'll
it 10
be
seconds to see who is the one coming forth and giving us what will be the other products that men's uses in a sense of creating a category.
let's see, nobody yet, so we'll
All
just
right.
go ahead and
So
put
what? So
Printful.
men's would use t-shirts, hoodies, hats. How about sweatpants?
Yes, let's do sweatpants, perfect.
So
Maybe we'll make
sweatpants.
a cat hair don't care sweatpants or something.
Yeah, exactly. So for the sake of argument, let's just leave it as the sweatpants.
Oh, you
And
forgot the T, brother.
I'm sorry,
You forgot the T. Yeah.
I am not typing properly today. So sweatpants, and then let's just do this. The main category now, of course, is men's clothing.
Oh, it's already there.
Oh, it's already here.
Yeah,
So
look at that.
perfect. So that's actually part of the updates that we did. That you don't
Hmm.
have to type the category if you are working already under the subcategory. So let's just go down here. Let's just put again here, and sweatpants, and do the same thing. And as you can see here, it's only one
I
dash.
think sweatpants is one word, bro.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
I just wanted to make it more
I mean,
sophisticated, but
you're making sure we're paying attention. That's all. That's all.
it's okay. It's okay.
All right. Yeah.
It's all love, my friend, and I know that we all use this sweat.
I don't even need sweatpants. I mean, hell, any pants make me sweat. Anyway, that's a joke. But anyway, let's say.
All right. So now
Uh,
we're creating the second subcategory here, and let's see.
Look at that.
You see, I only clicked it once. I make sure this time. So now we have the hoodies, and the sweatpants. And if we
I
go
love
here
it.
to the store, let's take a look, because then we have to in the next in the couple of next um episodes, we're gonna have how to add all of this
Yes.
manually using your editor. So it's gonna get better, guys. I know right now we're talking about certain things, how to create the categories, the products, adding, connecting. But it all comes down to a couple of things. One, the store one is fully functional once the products are fully connected and once you start making full money.
So
So
John,
that
let's go on camera and let's take a couple questions because I think this is good. This is good stuff.
awesome. So right before that, remember guys, just make sure that you keep your categories simple. Make sure that you have planned it ahead of time, and that's pretty much it. And that's how you create a couple of categories and subcategories.
Yeah, guys, and just to cheat for you to save time, listen, use Printful as the example, and you're not gonna sell every product that they have on there. I mean, maybe right. Eventually, you start doing good in sales. You hire a team, and then you have people that are assigned to. You could build out the whole thing around. Let's just say I don't know, people that love pizza and it's just pizza stuff, pizza hoodies, pizza this, pizza that. I mean, that's a niche right there, pizza lovers.
Yes.
And you could start doing so good in sales that you have at one point I had 4 VAs with my best store that I had. I had 4 VAs helping me, and then it was me. And I mean, listen, when you start making enough sales, you have the resources to do that. And I encourage you, that's the best way to scale is to start bringing on people. Don't do
Right.
it because you can only make so much money by yourself in e-commerce, even though you got automation, you got Printful fulfilling, and you still need help if you want to scale. If you want to keep it small and do 10,000, 15,000 a month, you can do that by yourself. But if you want to scale big and hit $100,000 a month or more, then you're going to have to bring on a
Yes.
team, and that's not very hard. It's just a
And,
matter of doing the work.
and remember, you see the parallel. Whenever you have an idea for a store, write it down and calculate how many hours will that store will take you to actually put it in motion. Once you have it in motion, set yourself goals like, oh, in the first 6 months I want to make this much money, in the next 10 months I'm going to make this much money. And then once you get to that very top goal that you have, that you dream, like, hey, as you said, Frank, $15,000. Once you hit that, then start thinking of ways of how to start growing that portion of the business, of what how you can actually just bring more people in to actually just maximize not only your time but also your money. So let's go with some questions, Frank. Let me just take a look at this one because this question is very interesting, and I'm gonna take it, and I know you're gonna chime in. Actually, Affiliate Strategies and Tools says, "What happens with returns? Do you allow them? Does Printful charge your account and handle returns? Thanks."
Okay. So Printful, in the Printful settings, there's a place of where you want the returns to go. So you can decide to have them go to you or to Printful. Now, here's the deal: Printful's not going to credit you on anything. It's going to be up to you. Now, with that being said, if it gets to the customer and it's damaged and there's freaking stains on it and stuff, they're going to replace it. Okay, so always when you have issues, try to get it corrected. And especially if it's something that the printer did, because stuff happens. Sometimes somebody's in a hurry and they pack the item and they dropped something and it's just on the corner. And, they dropped the coffee and the guy's a new guy, right? And he's like, whatever. And he stuffs it in the bag and he ships it out. And that's nothing against Printful or nothing against their printer, but it got that way. What I always done is, can you take a photo? Can you take a couple of good photos? Send me the photos. And at that point, I turn around and I don't get on the phone, but I email them and I send them the photos. Hey, customer received this as like in this condition. Here's the the customer name and the address. And 99.9% of the time, Printful or whoever else that you're doing business with that's making the item is going to send them a new one, especially if it came damaged. Okay. Now, what I do with my stores is I'll refund them if they're not happy, and you'll start collecting some items. If they're good items, guess what you can do? You can resell them. You can have a little clearance section.
And one of the things to add, guys, you have to have a process before you start any kind of refunds. Just make sure you outline it in your page. This we'll talk about once we touch the legal pages, the terms and conditions, your refund process, and your other terms and conditions. It's important that you have a process with Printful. So as Frank said, just communicate with them what the issue may be. Also, for experience with Printful, when it's the wrong sizes, depending of where the mistake was, they'll be very lenient and said, okay, if it was unpacking, let's say, oh, well, the order came in as an M, but your customer received the L or an S. So then the problem was in packing. The order was correct, but they pack it wrong. It could happen. Printful is very good with that. They will actually just they tell you, please tell your customer to send back the product, or depending on if it's a custom design, they said just try to keep it. It all depends.
Mhm.
Refunds are a pain, but there is a cost of business. It is something that we need to do, and most likely we're going to have a full episode on dealing with refunds, customer service,
Yes,
customer
of course.
experience as well.
We're gonna do all that because we with this store we want to be fully transparent and even show you when we set up a campaign and things like that. And have some stuff I want to do with that once we start promoting. And the main thing is do your best as the ecom store owner to do what's right.
Yes.
If you put the best foot forward and you try to over deliver, you're going to gain loyal customers, and it's way easier to get repeat business from a customer than to try to acquire a new sale.
And don't forget, bad news travel fast.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You have I mean, I've been managing the service department for the past 3 years with the company, and it's very far few in between the people that actually praise us. I mean, we receive internally tons of customers that thank you, great job, thank you for your help, but publicly never happens. And you know the reason why? Because it's easier to complain than to give a compliment. Think
Mhm.
about that. If you, as a business owner, don't understand that, try to get it right, because it's easier to complain than actually give a compliment. Why? Because it's easier to be negative. And usually, when people don't have the right experience, if you
Mhm.
haven't done what they need to do, they will actually try to go in different social media channels, try to your competitors. Oh, I try to buy this here and there. It happened to me many, many years. It happens to Frank, I bet. It has happened to
Yeah.
to many of us, if not to all of us. Is how you can actually react to that. So to me, in the events, when I have those events happening, what I do is simply either refund, and I rather lose 20, $30 instead of having to deal with 100 complaints in Facebook or a
Yeah,
hundred people talking about the product. Why? Because if you start measuring your time, the value of your time, if you don't have somebody working with you in your social media, how much does that hour of me fighting or trying to contain that instead of a refund? So, and that's why we have a 30-day policy, and if you are within that 30 days, the company will actually honor it. Why?
yeah.
Because that's our commitment. And you will learn more about that once we get to talk about it. But I want to say thank you to Vincent to for that question, actually to John. Oh, sorry, what
Oh,
was the name? Vincent. So we have another question here from John. In the last class, you mentioned, Frank, a link to the free graphics. Where can we find it?
yes, in the Facebook group. Let's if you're in the Facebook group for Groove.CM, go in there and type in my name, or go in there and type in I don't know. Yeah, type in my name, and I'll see John Thomas. If you're in the group, I'll see if I can tag you on the post. It's in
Perfect.
there. Anyone watching this replay, you have to be a part of the Groove community, the Groove family. Go to the Facebook group, type in Groove.CM, and you'll find the group. Request to join. Usually within 24 hours or less, someone will approve you if you answer the questions properly. And then we're in there. There's so many helpful people. I love the Groove family because, and I think this is trickled down from the founders. Okay, we just want to see people win. We want to see you win. We want to see everyone win. And I love the Groove family. I'm so grateful and thankful for being part of this team, to have people I work with like John Garcia and David Lemon. And what else do we got for questions?
All right. So we have another question here. How many subcategory levels deep you can go?
Do you know that?
I actually don't. It's a
Yeah,
great question because I know you can go as low as you go, but that is not recommended.
yeah,
Simply because you don't want to go more than 3 levels deep.
yeah.
Why? Then people will start experiencing confusion. It's just like the divers, like scuba divers. The deeper they go, they get lost. So rather keep it very close knit, very very tight, as far as of the category levels that you have. So it's easy to go back, and if people wants to actually just either share a product or something, so they don't have to go and try to rediscover the whole 10, 15 levels that you might have. So Greg, it's always better to keep it between 1 and 3 maximum. If you want to really push it, probably just go to 4. But
Yeah.
that would be the recommendation.
And so, like, to give you a quick example, in my brain, I would say men's, and then maybe hoodies, and then under men's t-shirts, under men's sweatpants, and I'd leave it at that. I'm not
Yeah,
going to go anything crazier than that. For this store, right? Depending
correct.
now, it depends on your niche, your market, all that stuff. But keep it simple.
Yes. Now, Vincent Simpkins asks, how many different payments accepted at checkout? We do have GroovePay, Stripe, PayPal. We have. Let me check them. Why don't we just share this instead of having?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me just share my screen here, and let's just go here to.
Oh, and John, while you're doing that, let's not forget about Ismael and his shipping method. And then we'll finish
Yep.
out the training with Ismael.
Yeah, that'd be the last question. So payment gateways. So this is for Vincent. Vincent, right within your dashboard, you will find here. So this is actually GroovePay. Then we have a Stripe, PayPal, Authorize.net, Nuvi, BankSate, NMI, CartPTM, and Yoviva. Have in mind, guys, this is important. What you're looking at, it is for the upgraded customer. For free customers, for free accounts, you will only see GroovePay and PayPal.
Yes.
So let's have that in mind. And even for the free accounts, we have this great thing, great addition, cash on delivery, which I'll definitely talk more about this one, because this has been one of the great upgrades that we have done in the past, maybe 6 to 8 months, because you as a business owner gives you the ability to take cash on delivery, meaning you're selling a product, but you can get your money once your customer comes in and picks it up. So we will talk about that later.
Yeah,
But
and that's actually, John, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's very popular in many countries.
oh yeah, no, actually, South America is very popular. Parts of Europe as well, and anywhere. I mean, we use cash on delivery. For example, UPS. I don't know if everybody has sent packages with UPS. Whenever the package comes in with a little yellow receipt, that means that UPS have paid whoever sent you that package until you sign that little yellow receipt. That receipt means that I'm paying, that the customer is paying until they receive that. Once you actually have that, you signed it. That means now you're paying for it.
Yeah,
So
and that might be like, I'm thinking marketing wise. If I'll do a test for me for my something of mine. If someone does cash on delivery, you're gonna get a lot of conversions. And if you got a Facebook pixel and you're running a campaign, you're gonna it's I mean, that's gonna help you in your market. If you want to, I'm not saying do it, if you don't have experience, you got to learn about it first. But
right.
I've never tried it, but I've seen some case studies how cash on delivery helps people's marketing campaigns that they run just skyrocket.
And remember, this is what actually Facebook has started doing. It's pretty much the similar concept with the marketplace, because at the end of the day, when you sell something, what Facebook is doing is just connecting the two of you. So you said, buy this bike for $300. They will give you the option to, like, hey, meet in person to buy it or pay it online, right? So that is pretty much the same concept of the actual cash on delivery. So if you have your own website, send people to your website, people that are in your local neighborhood, your city, maybe your state, if you may, but it's usually in the vicinity. So once you have, let's say, a product that can be, let's say, cupcakes, let's say, food items, let's say candles that you don't want to actually send out because they're very delicate, and if you put them in a box they get ruined, stuff like that you are able to actually promote locally, you have the ability to do that. And let's wrap up. Let's see if we have one or two. I see some more comments. Let's take a look.
Shout out to Sansia. She's part of the Groove
Oh,
family.
Sansia is here. So hey, Sansia, and let's go to take a look at Mr. Leon's question. Let me see. Where is it? I'm trying to find it. I mean, 13th question. I'm sorry. Right here. Awesome. So let me just show my screen again. And let's go quickly to our shipping right here. And
Now
so
he added
Ismael,
it to the wizard. Did you want to maybe try to log into his store and just do it and see if we can pinpoint it or not?
remember, since we're having a little bit of an issue with the
Yeah,
rest
it
of the
might
store,
be.
so you probably created the shipping method, Ismail. So if you did, you probably will see it here. Let me just create one and show you how to delete it. So if you cannot delete it for some reason, if you're still having trouble with, do me a favor, send me an email to support@groovedigital.com. I'm gonna just leave the comment here. So support at groovedigital.com, and one of my agents or even myself, just make sure that you put it attention John Garcia so I can take a look at it and make sure that it gets to you. So let me just put this option really quickly here. I'm gonna put international shipping. International shipping. Then here, I'm safe to assume you actually created the prices here. Let's just put here to $25. And then we're gonna just add a new range. The new range is from $25 to $50 in your products. So let's say it's $19 here for shipping and it's $29 here for shipping. By the way, guys, this is just a test. This is just an example. So I'm gonna just click
Oh,
save.
I just gotta. Did it take? I think you had to select the items because I don't think it saved it.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, probably is gonna give me that. But I think I just wanted to save the ranges.
Yeah, just so you can show how to delete. Okay.
Yeah. So if we go here to shipping methods, is
Yeah,
right
there you
here.
go. Okay.
So you probably created this, Ismail, and the only thing that you have to do is just click actions and click delete. Now, if you created inside of this shipping method, you created the range that I just showed you, all that you got to do is log in, go into that area, and now you will see where do we see it right here. You see, it's kind of hidden because you don't really see it if you don't pay close attention,
Hmm.
but it is there. So you have the two ranges that it was created, so you can click delete, and then that will delete that range of options that you have for shipping.
Nice.
All right, so I hope, Ismail, that resolved your problem. If not, let me just take a look at this, and I believe with the rest of the comments. Let me see. Right here. Right here. So this is the address that you want to send us a email with any questions. And that goes actually for everybody, guys, as we wrap out now with questions. So now, Frank, let's just come back here to the actual screen. And I can see that I delay here in my camera for some reason.
Oh, it's okay. We're good. I think you're good. Now you're muted.
It's for some reason it's a delay here.
Yeah.
Can you see me talking but not talking? So it's definitely a delay here in my. As I said, my
Okay.
internet is. It hasn't been working properly since the past. As I said, probably month and a half, and I have these situations with the delays.
Yeah. So let's use this as a stopping point since you got the connection issue.
Yeah, Frank. I think let me just share your camera since you're gonna be
Yeah.
there. And in my end, guys, thank you so much for being with us today. Don't forget next Tuesday at the same time, same channel. And in my end, guys, have a great night. So Frank, take it away.
Thank you. Yeah. So John, he's probably gonna kick back in the background, but let me paint the picture for you that's on this training. Okay. You're here to learn how to do e-commerce, and we're helping you with that. Let me paint the big picture of what you are a part of right now. One day we could be showcasing your store as a case study for thousands of future members that are going to join 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. Imagine you have a GrooveKart store that's doing 60,000 a month. Imagine if you have a GrooveKart store that's doing 100,000 a month. Okay, the best store that I had before I sold it, we were clearing over $100,000 in sales before I sold it. Okay, when I sold it, and I have a good friend of mine that he did, you know him, he's one of the founders, did 4 times more volume than I did. And the only difference between his and mine is I had a business partner that was worried about what I was spending, and he didn't, and he put the pedal to the metal. Okay. And John Cornetta mentions this on some of the interviews and things like that. Part of the profit that he made from that year, he put towards the founding of Groove with Mike Fosame and Matt Serralta. You don't know who you can become in this business. Don't discount yourself. Get this training, learn it, put it into action, turn off Netflix, turn off the news, and hunker down and get this stuff to become where it's second nature. And there's things that you don't have to worry about, like design. Go make a quick logo in Canva, and then later when you make some sales, go get a better logo through Fiverr for $10, $15, $20. Money loves speed, okay? And here's another one. Scared money don't make money. So if you're scared, worried, anxious, you're not going to make any money because you're throwing yourself off mentally. Money loves speed. Don't get me wrong. Have everything done. Your legal pages, your support email, your product set up, right? It looking nice, right? Don't try to launch something and it's half done. No, that's not what I mean. But don't become a perfectionist, and then next thing you know, it's 6 months down the road and you still haven't launched it because you want to get everything perfect. So with that being said, just imagine what things can happen for you in this business, in this industry, if you just, give yourself a little bit more responsibility, hold your feet to the fire and lean in on this thing and do something with it. Because if I can do it, if John Cornetta can do it, if John Garcia can do it, if David Lemon can do it, if Mike Fosame can do it, he'll tell you before anyone. Then why not you? So with that being said, hopefully, this helps everyone watching. John Garcia, you can hear me. I think, yeah, you're there. You are muted. Okay. All right, guys. We're going to end it right here. Thank you for being here. Watch the replay, and we'll see you on the next one next Tuesday at, hopefully that's not let's see. Today is 7 days. No, we'll be here next Tuesday because it won't be Christmas Eve or Christmas. So I just wanted to check the calendar. So we'll see you again next Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern. This is Frank Salinas on behalf of Groove.CM and John Garcia and David Lemon. Thank you for being here. Never stop believing. Keep on pushing and never give up. We'll talk to you soon.